farming, suddenly decided that he just wasn't cut out for the boring and privileged lifestyle. So he decided to live with the normal people instead, and took his wife and sons with him. At first, Homing and his wife were pretty happy about leaving their old lives behind. But what came next for them was beyond horrifying. First of all, considering Rocinante and his family left Marioa, they barely had any money. They somehow managed to get a house for themselves, but things went downhill from there. The people around them hated the family for being former celestial dragons, seeing them as monsters. Soon enough, their house was burned down, and the entire family was forced to live in a junkyard shack. As time went on, they lost the little money they had, and nobody was willing to hire them. Since they had no money for even food or medicine, the boys often had to eat garbage in order to survive. Eventually, things got so bad that Homing begged the celestial dragon for help, but he was instantly rejected. To make matters worse, a year later, Homing's wife got sick and died in front of the kids. Since being dirt poor wasn't punishment enough, the people of the country actually tracked down their family again in order to beat them up. Later, they hung them up on crosses and started pelting them with rocks to humiliate them even further. The three Don Quixotes somehow survived all of this, but it left them scarred for years to come. Soon after, Rocinante's brother Doflamingo received a pistol as a gift from a gangster named Treble. Doflamingo hated his father and believed that he was responsible for everything that had happened to them since he chose to leave Marioa willingly. So, filled with rage, Doflamingo shot Homing, even though Rocinante begged his brother not to do it. Afterward, he was about to kill Rocinante too, but decided to spare him. Doflamingo then took his father's head back to Marioa, thinking that this would earn him his title back, but he was wrong, and his plan failed. This left both brothers to fend for themselves, all alone. Losing your parents is something no one should experience as a child, but what about a character who lost absolutely everyone he ever knew? Although not much is known about Brook's life before he became a pirate, we do know that he was once a big-shot military officer for some unknown country. However, in his heart, he always wanted to be a pirate instead. That's why he left his post and joined the Rumbar Pirates, a group of pirate musicians who dreamed of spreading joy and smiles across the world. Brook spent a good chunk of his life sailing with them and even befriended a lost whale named Laboon. Since the Rumbar Pirates wanted to sail the Grand Line, they left Laboon behind at the Twin Capes with Crocus. Brook felt awful about leaving Laboon behind since he grew attached to the whale, but he had no other choice. After promising the whale that they returned for it, the Rumbar Pirates set sail once again for the New World. Fortunately for them, soon after, Brook's captain, Yorkie, fell ill with an incurable disease. This forced the crew to leave Yorkie behind, and they decided to name Brook their new captain instead. Things were going well for a bit after that before the Rumbar Pirates were suddenly attacked by an unknown enemy. With poison arrows raining down on them, they had no choice but to hide inside the fog within the Florian Triangle. To make matters worse, the crew's doctors were among the first ones to lose their lives, meaning that there was no one left to treat the crew. With no cure for the poison, the Rumbar Pirates had no choice but to wait for their inevitable deaths. Hopeless and lost, Brook suggested the crew play one final song for Laboon. Even though they couldn't fulfill their promise to the whale, at least they could bid him one final goodbye. As the crew started playing, Brook's eyes began to water as the people around him slowly began to die, one after another. All of them died with smiles on their faces, and Brook was the last one to fall, while his body was rotting away.